Assalamu alaikum students. This is Wahid Yusuf, your English teacher, and today, as I had promised you people that I'll prepare a video lecture on format of letter writing. And today in this video lecture, I'll be discussing the format of formal letters. The format of formal letters. I'll show you how to write a formal letter. And in another video, I'll tell you how to write an informal letter. See, I'll not be discussing I'll not be defining the formal letter here. I'll not be defining the informal letter here that we have discussed in the class. In this lecture, I'll be precisely discussing the format of a formal letter with you people. How to write a formal letter, and we'll discuss the elements of formal letter. We'll discuss how we should write formal letter. See, as far as letters are concerned, there are some certain styles. There are some still styles under which we write letters. For example, we have some two three styles in which we can write formal letters. One is known as block style, which we shall do in this class. I shall discuss the block style in this class, and that is how we write a formal letter. We can write a formal letter in block style. We can write a formal letter in semi-block style. We can write a formal letter in modified block style as well. But I believe that I will tell you about a style that is block style. We'll discuss in today's lecture. We'll discuss the block style, how to write a formal letter while using a block style, and we'll discuss the elements of the letter, and we'll discuss how this letter has to be written while we write a letter. So all these things we shall discuss in today's lecture. See, as far as format of this formal letter is concerned, format of formal letter. See, if we try to talk about the elements of this formal letter. See, we have some five or six elements in this formal letter. See, we have sender's address first, we have date, we have recipient's name, profession, and address, etc. We'll discuss it later on. And we have this salutation, we have subject line, we have body, and we have subscription, and even signature. So these are the elements of a formal letter. All these elements, we have to take care of these elements while writing a formal letter. And now I will tell you how to write these elements and where to place these elements. How to write these elements and where to place these elements. So we shall discuss this. I shall rub this also because I don't have a large whiteboard. This is smaller. So see, when we write a formal letter, first thing we have to do, first thing which we have to follow, we have to write sender's address. For example, suppose I live at Kulgam. I live at, for example, Laro Kulgam, and street number is 87. See, this is what is called as sender's address. First thing, first thing, we have to write in a formal letter. We have to write in a formal letter is sender's address. Is sender's address. So this is sender's address. For example, I am writing a letter. This is my address. This is my address. 87 Laru Kulgam, Kashmir, and then along with pin code. It is your choice whether you write the pin code or not. But I wrote a pin code here. See, this is what sender's address is. Then we have to put a space here, space, and then date. See, for example, it is May 14, 2021. May 14, 2021. This is date. This is sender's address, then date. See, I will tell you later on, I will tell you how to write these things. See, one, sender's address, Laru L capital, Kulgam K capital, Kashmir K capital. So this sender's address, we have to write the words in capital. We have to start the words in capital letters, with capital letters. And this, how this date is written. We cannot write like, for example, 14/5/2021. This is not the correct way of writing dates. We have to mention this month. We have to mention this month in words. In words. That is how a date is written in formal letter. That is why I wrote May 14th, 2021. Otherwise, I should have written 14/05/2021. But this is the correct way of writing a date. So this sender's address first, then space, then date, and then again space, and then what we call, we have to write recipients. Recipient is receiver. Recipient is receiver, to whom we are writing the letter. For example, I am writing the letter. This is my address. Then date. Then to whom I am writing the letter. I have to write his name. Then in the second line, in first line his name. In second line his profession or designation. In third line, the company institute in which he works, and fourth line, his address. So these things we have to take care of while writing a recipient's address, name, designation. First, name, profession or designation, the company institution in which he works, and then address. Now the thing is this: if we don't know the name of the person, what will we do now? Then we will only write the designation of that person. We'll only write the designation of that person. And if we know the name of that person, we should better write the name of that person. If we don't know the name of that person, we should write the designation. We should write his profession along with the company, institute, and address. For example, I am writing this letter. I wrote the date. Now I have to write a letter to, for example, I have to write a letter to the editor-in-chief of Times of India, but I don't know what is the name of him and who is the editor-in-chief of Times of India. So I will write, for example, the editor Times of India. The editor Times of India, and I'll write the address also. For example, Mumbai. For example, Mumbai. So this is recipient's designation, company, and address. Company and address. So if I would know the name of this editor, it should have been the name of the editor first, and then the editor Times of India, and then Mumbai, India. So it can happen while we don't know the names of these persons to whom we are writing the letter. So we can write like this. Here you can write any, for example, branch manager, J&K Bank, Anantnag. For example, branch head, J&K Bank, Jammu and Kashmir Bank, Anantnag, Kashmir. So that can be another address. For example, if we know the person, for example, Mr. Khan, branch manager, Jammu and Kashmir Bank, Anantnag, Kashmir. So that is how we write the recipient's address or a receiver's address, or it is also known as inside address. It is also known as inside address. So this is one element, this is another element, and this is another element. See, all the words start with capital. They are all nouns, and all the words start with capital. Here this word doesn't start with capital because it is not a noun, it is not a content word. That is why it is not it is not written in capital, or we can simply say it doesn't start with a capital letter. So this is sender's address, then date, and then receiver's address, recipient's address, or inside address. See, after that we have to place another space. We have to place another space. And after space, we have to write salutation. We have to write salutation. See, salutation is, for example, dear sir, dear sir. See, there is a rule. There is a rule. We should write the name of the person in salutation. We must write the name of the person in salutation. That too, last name. For example, my name is Wahid Yusuf. My name is Wahid Yusuf. If anybody writes a letter to me, he should write, for example, Dear Mr. Yusuf. Last name is Yusuf, or he can write Dear Yusuf. Dear Yusuf. But if he doesn't know the name, if he doesn't know my name, he can simply say, Dear sir. Just like this letter. I don't know the name of the editor. I don't know the name of the editor. That is why I wrote Dear sir. If I knew the name of the writer, I would write Dear. What was his last name? What is his last name? I would write that. For example, Lee. Dear Lee. If his name would be Robert Lee, for example. Sorry, Lee. So I would write here, dearly, dear Mr. Lee, dear. If there had been any female, I would write dear Mrs. or married woman Mrs. Or if I am not 100% confident whether the name is whether she is married or not, I would write ms, or I would simply write the name. So simply I want to say that when we know the name of the person to whom we are writing the letter, we should mention dear plus his last name, her last name. If we don't know the name of the person we are writing to, we should write dear sir, dear madam. And if we don't know whether the person is a female or female, we should simply write the name. We should simply write the name. And so sender's address, date, recipient's address, and this is salutation, or we call it greeting, or we call it greetings. Just 1 second, I'll make it clear. So first part is sender's address, then date, then recipient's designation and address, and then we have salutation or greeting. See, another rule for this, we have to place a comma. We have to place a comma after writing a salutation. This is British English. We follow British English. If we follow American English, in American English, we place a colon here. We place a colon here. But we are this is British English. In British English, we place a comma after the salutation. And now this dear sir, there is a rule. The first word and every noun, the first word and nouns, they are started with a capital letter. For example, if this salutation, for example, in informal letters, for example, my dear brother, my dear brother. See, first word is my, it starts with capital, and then brother, it is a noun, it will start with capital also. But this dear, it is not a noun, so it is small. It is small. The rule is for salutation. The rule for salutation is first word is written in capital. First word starts with a capital letter. Then, if there are 2, 3, 4, 5 words and nouns from those five words, the words which are nouns, they are also started with a capital letter. So we have dear and sir is a noun, and that is why we wrote this dear with capital and this sir starting with a capital letter also. So this is up to the salutation. One second. See, after salutation, we have to write the subject. We have to write the subject line. So, subject is why you are writing a letter. You have to tell what is the reason, what is the purpose of writing this letter. What is the purpose of writing this letter? And then the body. Then we have to write the body. So, see, we are talking about block style. We are talking about block style. I'm not talking about semi-block style. And when we write the body, the first paragraph should come up with reason, should come up with purpose. Why I am writing this letter? There should be a reason. There should be a reason. There should be an introduction. There should be an introduction about the letter, the reason why I am writing this letter. Then the following paragraphs, they should come up with information. In those paragraphs we should provide some information regarding the subject, regarding the reason, regarding the purpose. We should provide some information. And then concluding paragraph, the last para, that should come up with the expectation. For example, I am writing the letter to the editor of at the Times of India. It is the Times of India. I should write what I expect now, what I want you to do now. That I have to write in the concluding paragraph. And then we have to write the subscription. For example, and after subscription we have to place a comma. See, rule for subscription rule for subscription is the first word of the subscription we start with capital only the first word we start with capital. And another rule, if we know the person to whom we are writing, for example, dear Robert, dear Martin, then it should have been yours sincerely. But we don't know the person. That is why we wrote yours faithfully. This is very important. We should write yours faithfully when we don't know the person to whom we are writing, when we only know his profession designation, when we don't know the name of the person. If we know the name of the person, we should write yours sincerely. We should write yours sincerely. This is also very important. Every now and then we make mistakes regarding these things. And I have observed at many times that this yours, it is written like this with apostrophe your plus apostrophe s, but beta, it is not written like this. It is yours, simply, not apostrophe s. And this is how a subscription is written. And you can place a signature extra on beneath this subscription. Okay, so these were the elements of a formal letter, and I told you how to write these elements. And now finally I will tell you how to write in block style. Why have to place which element in block style? For example, this is a page. This is a page. For example, you assume that it is a page of your laptop, of your computer, of your notebook. It is a page, any page on which you write, on which you type, etc. See, block style. It is block style. I am talking about block style. Sender's address, you will write here. Sender's address. And space, then date, you will write here date. See, in block style, every element is written on the left margin, starting from the left margin, starting from the left margin. And see, sender's address here, date here, and then space, and then we should write this recipient's designation address, or this name extra. We call it recipient's address, for example, and designation address extra. And this also we shall write from the left side. And it is in block style, every element is aligned to the left margin, every element is aligned to the left margin. Then again space, again space, then salutation, then salutation is written, or greeting. Then we write the subject line, we write the subject line, and then body. See, in semi-block style, what we would do, for example, I started writing the body. I started writing the body. When I start writing the body in semi-block style, I left this space and I start writing from this, then this. And when the para completes, I leave some spaces and I start writing from this. But it is not done in this format. It is not done in this style. That is block style. That is block style. Every line of the body, that should start from the margin, the left margin. That should start from this line, that should start from this line. We don't have to leave any spaces while we start writing a body of the letter, we shall start from this line and go on. For example, the para is completed here, we shall put a space here, leave a space, and then start writing again, without leaving any spaces here, without leaving any spaces before writing the first word of your paragraph. We don't have to leave spaces before writing the first word of the paragraph, even though it is first paragraph, second, third, fourth, fifth, any paragraph it should be. We don't have to leave spaces before writing the first word of the paragraph. That is how we write body in block style. If it would have been semi block style, it was okay, मतलब हम छोड़ सकते थे यहाँ पे space. We could have left space here and then start writing the first words, the first sentence of the first paragraph from here. But it is block style, and these rules are followed in block style. And lastly, this subscription, it is also written here. See, in semi-block style, this sender's address you can write here also. This date you can write here, and this subscription you can write here, but in semi-block style. And you can leave spaces while writing the paragraphs in semi-block style, but not in block style, so we discussed how to write a formal letter, in block style. And I discussed with you the elements which we find in this formal letter writing, and I hope you would have understood it. And that is all for today, and I'll come up with another lecture inshallah in coming days, as far as informal letter writing is concerned. Okay, Allah Hafiz, and thank you.